All right, it is time to get the lowdown on Nnenna Freelon.
Ah.
So we'd like to welcome world-renowned jazz vocalist, 6-time Grammy nominee, actor, composer, a little bit of everything, I guess. It's Nnenna Freelon. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So we're going to get the hard question right out of the way.
Right away.
Yes.
Yep.
The spelling of the name?
Oh, yeah.
It's
hard.
How many N's? By a vowel, girly.
Right. What were your parents thinking? Right. So early on, you were signed by Columbia Records in '92.
Right.
And then you were dropped 2 years later.
Right.
How did that affect your career? Did that give you inspiration to keep going, or how did that affect you?
Well, I was lucky to have some great mentors, some people who had seen the movie before I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that when you have a relationship and it ends, that kind of hurts. That stings. Ouch. That hurts. But I've always really made my living as a live artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to really do a self-check. You okay? You're right? No blood on the floor? No. I was still working. I was still working.
Right.
Not taking something really personally is something you have to develop as you get more, I won't say older, I'll say more mature,
Seasoned.
more seasoned,
Yes.
and realizing that, everything ends on this side of Jordan, everything ends.
Right.
And you said they notified you with a letter?
Well, it was not like a phone call, hello Nnenna, we're sorry to inform, it wasn't like Mission Impossible or anything like that. Much more impersonal and businesslike, frankly. It's like not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Just let you know it's done.
It's done. We've decided not to renew our option to continue with you. Yeah. Otherwise, we love you. Get out.
Right.
And that was your first contract.
That was my first contract.
And did you ever think about giving up at that point, or was it just, this is a bump in the road, I'm going to move on, we're going to push forward, and I'm going to keep doing what I do?
Okay, do you have to be honest on this show?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
It's the lowdown.
Okay, it's the lowdown. It's the lowdown. This is like free therapy.
Talk to us.
So I did
We're not
have
licensed
a
therapists,
moment.
though.
I honestly had a moment, where it's like, what?
Of course.
But you press on and you understand your life backwards. Now I can talk to other artists and say, you're going to hit some bumps in the road. There are going to be some days that it's going to be like, why am I doing this? This is difficult. How am I supposed to negotiate this? But the first time you see anything, it's tough.
Right.
So, but I can say now, looking back, that now that I see that the industry has changed so drastically and it's not about a record label anymore,
right.
You can say, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Right.
You can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the time, in 92,
Yeah.
93, 94, not so much. But I did sign with Concord Records in 96, I believe. And it's been a fruitful relationship, a much smaller label, an independent label. And now the industry is moving towards self-produced product because the landscape has totally shifted.
Right. And you've been nominated for now 6 Grammys since you've been with Concord, which is pretty amazing. How do they notify you about that when your nomination?
You do get it. You used to get a fax. Remember that?
What are faxes?
Fax.
What is that?
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
A fax. You used to get a fax and a phone call. But now
You get a text.
You get a text, pretty much.
For
you get
real.
a text for real. The thing is, the whole idea of nomination is that your peers have said, this is the best record in a category of 5.
Sure.
So talking about your peers and being in front of your peers and performing, we've seen you perform numerous times, and you always seem so calm, so cool, relaxed. 2001 at the Grammys, you were introduced by Jon Stewart.
Yes.
You performed with Take 6, one of my all-time favorite bands from my youth.
Yes.
And after that, Erykah Badu came out, Tony Bennett.
Yes.
What is it like to perform in front of your peers and people who are judging you in the industry? Were you really that cool?
No. No, really good makeup and some relaxing herbs.
And a great dress.
A great dress. It was pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And then they stood up.
I mean, yeah.
I was like, they're standing up.
Yeah, we
Why
saw
are they
that.
standing up? They're standing up.
Because it was fabulous. Fabulous.
But afterwards, you're like this.
Oh, of course.
More nervous afterwards
Yeah.
than before. So, but an awesome life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you started. What were you doing before you were singing? Because I know you started. After you had your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you doing before that, and how did you get into the?
Well, I
the
mean, I
industry?
started singing from childhood.
Did you want to be a singer when you were little? Was that your dream?
I think I wanted to be a singer, but you know how it is. I want to be a singer, but no, you can't.
You also want to be a ballerina.
And I want to be a ballerina, and I
And
want to
an
be
astronaut.
And I wanted to do something that I didn't have to struggle.
Right.
Right.
I really
Security.
sort of bought that Kool-Aid that said being an artist is difficult.
Yeah.
And I have to say, that's not untrue, double negative.
I get
It is true.
Yeah.
But it is also difficult to work all your life at something you don't love and retire and fall dead from a heart attack the day you retire.
Right.
That's also hard.
Right.
So it was a bloom where you're planted kind of moment when I realized I had this burning desire to do my art, not the skill set, not the opportunity, not the experience, but I bloomed right here in Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, the fact that I was sort of given birth to in this community is very precious to me.
And I love that. There's a quote by your grandmother, and she says, "Bloom where you're planted."
Bloom where you're
Right.
playing. Because I had this vision in my mind. I want to do this, but I got to go to New York, right? Or LA.
Right,
Or
everyone.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Or someplace
Atlanta.
big. Atlanta,
Yeah.
someplace big, right?
Right.
But I found right here in Durham everything that I needed to develop the skill set. And what I found was when I had a skill set that involved 10 tunes, 8 tunes, I had the opportunity that 8 tunes would give me.
Right.
Right.
As I built those things that I can control, because you can't control when somebody calls you up and says, I want to offer you this opportunity, but you can certainly control what you know
Right.
when the
Right.
phone call comes.
And how long did
great.
it take when you decided that you wanted to get into the singing? How long did it take to actually sign your record deal?
Oh, years and years and years and
So a lot of
years.
hard work. I think that's the.
So
yeah.
kids, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight.
It's not overnight.
You've had a huge amount of success and experience, and you've been nominated for 6 Grammys, like we have said. Was there a point in time where you felt like, oh my gosh, I've made it? I have arrived.
No. And I'm still hungry and curious. That's the thing that I think we kind of miss sometimes. You want an opportunity, so you knock on the doors that your mother knocked on, or
Right.
that anybody might knock on. You knock on the Broadway door.
Right.
You knock on the local theater door. And sometimes they're answered and sometimes they aren't. Sometimes the universe knocks on your door and says, you know what, you want to do something, you're going to have to
You have
create
to
the
do it.
opportunity yourself. And that's what I find
So let's
out.
talk about the Clothesline Muse a little bit.
Clothesline
What is
Muse.
it? What's it about?
It
What's the
is-
inspiration behind it?
It didn't start out to be a musical, but it is a musical. And it's looking at the clothesline as a place of community. Back in the day when women used to wash clothes by hand, it's devised theater, I guess I should say that. And the main characters are Grandma Blue, which I play, and my
I don't
granddaughter.
believe you're a grandmother.
Well, you should see the play.
I can't.
Fabulous actress. I'm able to channel 70 years old. But I tell these stories based on my experiences. My granddaughter's getting ready to go away to college, and I want to give her some gifts before she leaves. She can't wait to get away from all this old-timey stuff. She wants to get out in the world and change the world. But what they realize is that they have more in common than they realized at the beginning.
And where can people get more information about
The
it?
Clothesline Muse, www.theclotheslinemuse.com.
Perfect. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank
And congratulations. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And that is the Lowdown
The
on Nnenna
Lowdown.
Freelon.